Hi everyone, it's Tanya. Today I thought I would work on a Valentine's Day card idea I had. I feel like this card could be used for other things other than Valentine's Day, but today we're making it a Valentine's Day card. So let's quickly go over what I'm using here and then we'll get started. First of all, I've got some water out in my distress spray bottle. I've got a A2 size top fold card base ready to go. I have an A2 piece of cardstock cut out, and I'm going to emboss that with this Aline Hall Sizzix embossing folder called Tablecloth. So make sure you can see that. I have 2 hearts cut out of watercolor cardstock, and I use the Sizzix Tim Holtz die set abstract faces for that. And again, this is watercolor cardstock. I've cut out the letters to spell love you, and I've just got them on this little thing so I don't lose them. I did cut 2 of each letter and I just glued them together. I've done this in plenty of my other videos, so I'm not going to show that here. It's just 2 of the same letter glued together. And those letters came from the scrapbook.com alphabet die set. You get the upper and lowercase letters in this, and it's called typewriter. And I will link all this stuff below, but I'm just going to go over quickly what we're using. I may use this Sizzix Luster Wax, and this one is, I want to say, I forgot the name of this, so let me see. Lilac Rainbow. So this is the Lilac Rainbow Luster Wax. Let me open this so you can see. I don't know if the camera's picking up how pretty that is, but I don't know for sure yet if I'm using it, but I took it out just in case. I also am using set 4 and 5 of the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, and of these I'm using Saltwater Taffy and Worn Lipstick. Also have a couple water brushes out. I don't have water in these. For this, I prefer to just spray a little water on my mat and then pick it up with the brushes. So you do it either way, however you feel comfortable, but I like doing it that way. I feel like I have a little bit more control over the water. Thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and start coloring my hearts. And I'm going to start with the Worn Lipstick color. Let me move this one out the way. And I'm just going to, and I'm not going all the way to the edge with this, because I will use my brush to pull the color to the edge. But I'm just going to color kind of a thick line on this side here. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to spread this out with your brush. And then I'm just going to come on this side, go around the edge again, because I want to give it a little bit of a shadow. Okay. I'm going to spray a little bit of water on my mat here. And let's see, I'll use the wider tip water brush. And then I'm just going to spray this color. And I will say I am no watercolor expert. This is just how I do it. Just play with it until you get it the way you like it. So I like that one as it is. So I'm going to just move that to the side and let it dry. And you can dry it with your heat tool if you want. But I'm just going to let it dry since I have another one to do. So I'm going to do this one the same way. This time I'm using the saltwater taffy. You feel like you need a little bit more dark of a color on one side, like I feel like this side got really light on me, you can just put a little bit of water on your brush and pick up some paint directly from your pencil. Kind of darken it up a little bit. I feel like some of these colors react slightly different than others, like they'll thin out quicker than other colors. I feel like this was one of those that kind of quickly thinned out, which is not at all a bad thing. But I wanted to add a little more color, so there we go. I'll kind of like that. Now again, I'm just going to move this aside and let it dry on its own. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run this through the embossing folder. So this is the top. I'm going to just lightly mist my paper on both sides. Going to kind of center this in here like so. I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine. I'll be right back. Okay, I've run that through the die cutting machine, and as you can see, it embossed that very nicely. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to trim just a tiny bit off of this. And let's move my little hearts out the way. So I'm going to take just a little bit off from the side and the bottom. Just a tiny bit from the side and the bottom. As you can see, you can barely even tell it's slightly smaller than the actual card base, and that's how I wanted it. So my plan is to kind of do this. This is going to be a very clean and simple basically card. I'm still debating on the luster wax. Let's try the luster wax. If we don't like it, I can always do another background. It's just paper. So I'm going to just apply this with my finger. Oh, and you just want to get like a really light coating on your finger. You can use a blending foam for this too. I would definitely use one of the flat ones. Use this because paintbrush, and I got a little bit down in those grooves and I don't like it, so I'm just going to take a paintbrush. It's kind of got a stiff bristle on it, and that helps get it out of the little grooves so it don't look so messy. Okay, let me see. I don't know if you can see that, but as you turn it in the light, it gives like this really pretty pale pink kind of shimmery look to it. So I hope you can see that. And again, this is Sizzix Luster Wax in Lilac Rainbow. What I like to do after I put that on is to take a paper towel and just kind of buff it a little bit. There we go. Alright, so the next step is we are going to go ahead and glue this to our card base. That looks right. And I know a lot of people like to put something on top of theirs to let it dry so it dries flat, but the Barely Art glue really kind of takes hold pretty quickly once you actually put pressure onto it. So I don't really feel like I need to do that. Just press it down. That is such a pretty embossing folder. Now that we've got that on, let's figure these hearts out. And I think what we will do is maybe glue this one down. And when I'm using embossing folders, I like to add a little bit extra glue because of all the what I want to call it, debossing part. Your image isn't going to stick to those as well, so you really want the glue to stick to the parts that are raised or embossed. Okay, and for this one we're going to go more at an angle like that, and I'm going to use some foam tape for this one. So I'm just going to flip it over and just cut another little small piece for there, and a teeny piece for down there. So to make sure it stays on there correctly. Now I'm not going to stick this yet. I'm just going to kind of lay it where I want it for a minute. And I'm going to lay out my letters. That way if I want to change anything or adjust anything, nothing's stuck down yet. And I do want to try to get the U all onto this heart. So I feel like it should be okay. Let's set the heart up straight for a minute. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's how we're gonna glue these on. Let me grab a ruler. So I'm just gonna stick this in here like that. I'm gonna go ahead and move this out the way for a minute. We know that's where we want our letters, so I'm gonna go ahead and just stick that right there so we can keep our letters straight. And you know what I'll do is I will actually stick a little bit of tape across my ruler so it doesn't shift. There we go. That should help hold it in place until I get my letters glued down. Okay, so pop that up. Now, we want to get these on here straight. So let's see. We can do the same thing here. And I'm thinking just making sure I'm getting these where I want them. Maybe come down a little bit. Yeah, I think like that. Okay. And there is the finished card. You could add some gems if you wanted to, but I kind of like it just as it is, kind of like clean and simple. So we're going to leave this one as it is. Again, I will link everything in the description box below. If you've liked this video, please click the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate it. All the links, like I said, will be below, and they will be affiliate links, but by you clicking those, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me to keep this channel going and keep me making videos to share with you. I hope this card inspires you to create something today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.